Hey, could you come over here for a second? I just wanted to have a little chat with you. I'm so sorry to take you away from the others, but seeing as how they're already fast asleep after eating twice their share of our rations, I don't think they'll be missing you too much. But onto the important bit, and it is important, I promise. I wanted to talk to you a bit more about our mission before we enter the dungeon. Now, I know you might be frightened. That's not an accusation. I'm just throwing out possibilities. But if you are, that's okay. Dungeons are scary things, with traps and monsters and all the other horrible, horrible things there can be. Hope there's no bloody mimics. But I've actually got some good news. You see, I talked to some rats by the entrance of the dungeon. Not in like a crazy person kind of way, more like in a druid kind of way. That's what we do. Anyway, I just gave them a bit of cheese, stroked their ego a bit, complimented how nicely they were keeping their fur, how pink their tails, and so on and so on. And they basically gave me a quick rundown on the dungeon's layout. You know, where the traps are and all that good stuff. They even told me where all the treasure is. Rats can be so very, very helpful, and so small, fitting into every little nook and cranny. So basically, I've charted a path that can get us quickly and efficiently to the treasure while bypassing all the dangers. That's right. No risk to us at all. Of course, I didn't just rely on their words. Well, squeaks. So I actually turned myself into a spider and did some scouting, just to confirm and see for myself. And I can promise you, everything they said's true. So, the route is safe and profitable, so there's little to fear this time. Though, while we're on the topic of profit, gets me thinking a little. Why should we split the loot with the other two members? I mean, the two of us have been best friends since forever, but we just met those two not too long ago. I mean, we've really got a connection going on for each other, but them, not so much. And they're really not pulling their weight. I mean, overeating our rations aside, they're a burden by not performing their roles very well. Take the scouting, for instance. I already did that, so what's the point of the rogue? Not to mention, even if there was a point, dwarves don't make very good rogues. Especially not ones as clumsy as she is. And as for the monk, come on. You know monks aren't useful. So let's just be quite real here. Why split the treasure with deadweight that we barely even know? On the other hand, I'm useful. You're useful. For my morale, and I know you like the back of your hand. I mean, my hand. I promise I don't stare at your hand that much. You know what? You can even have a bigger share. You can have 60 to my 40. How about that? And think about the real reason we're here. You know, the super special magical artifact that's rumoured to be in this very dungeon. Well, rumoured, but the rats mentioned it specifically, so I know it's there. How are we going to split that? How are we going to decide who gets it? That's going to be quite the issue, considering how valuable it is. I mean, a chalice that can lengthen the user's lifespan. Immeasurably valuable. Super precious. Settling that problem of ownership is going to be more difficult than actually getting it, especially for a reason that the other two don't know. But since you're my good friend, I'll let you in on a little secret. See, I was talking to a tree around here earlier, like with the rats. It's a normal druid thing, not a crazy person thing, I promise. But the main point here is that some of these trees are very old, and I do mean very, very old. Even old enough to have seen the creation of the artifact in this very dungeon, and know everything about it. And that tree was really willing to talk my pointy ears off about it when I told them they're pretty even without flowers. So, it turns out, the artifact is single use. You can only use it once, and then it vanishes into nothingness, just melts away. So, it'll grant a couple of extra centuries to a person's lifespan, but after that, it's gone. Which which is why I think you should have it. I'm an elf. I'm already going to live basically forever, as long as I don't get stabbed. But you're the human here, the only one in the party. Your lifespan is so short, and you're my best friend. So, don't you think you should be the one to have it? I do. Now what do you say? Want to go in there, snag that bad boy, along with the rest of the treasure, of course. Gotta spend it somewhere, especially if you're gonna live forever. And then walk out with the smuggest smiles we've ever had. Just the two of us. Perfect. Then let's not waste any time. Come on, let's ditch these two. Follow me. Okay, this is the place, see? It's got the pedestal and everything, just like the tree said. A golden chalice adorned with every kind of jewel. Pretty, isn't it? Bit of a shame we can't sell it after we're done with it, though. Oh well, no use dwelling on it. Come on, no time to stare. There's no telling when those other two will wake up, and I'd like to avoid the awkward explanation. So, here we go. The tree told me all about how this works, and all you have to do is do what I tell you, okay? First, grip the chalice. What's wrong? Why are you hesitating? Oh, I understand. You've got a healthy sense of paranoia. Don't be ashamed, it's okay. It's all good. I imagine you're a little afraid that touching the chalice will take your soul and turn it into an extra jewel on it, or turn you into a frog or something, aren't you? I understand why you'd hesitate to believe me. I mean, I know we've been friends forever, but it's still kind of sketchy, isn't it? I'm just so generous and regret your short lifespan so much that I just have to give you this priceless artifact. Yeah. I don't blame you for being suspicious. Greed can kill even the strongest bonds, but believe me, it can't kill my bond with you. It's not just about making you live longer in a that's fair kind of way, you know? I don't want you to have this. I wouldn't give this to just any human. I was just thinking, well, I really love you. Really, really love you. Not just as a friend, of course, more than that, but not just more than that, more than even that. I actually became a druid because I love you so much. It always pained me to be so far away from you. Nothing hurts more than the distance between us, so if I'm sleeping in my room alone at night, I'm restless without you next to me. If I'm having a meal, it's tasteless without sharing it with you. I thought, if only I could become something like a spider, then I could be with you all the time. I could be right on your shoulder when you sleep. I could be right on your ceiling, looking down as you read, reading with you if I can bear to take my eyes off of you. I could always be with you, every and anywhere. And becoming a druid offered me that power and possibility, so that's what I did. And I really did all those things. Sleeping with you, reading with you. I can prove it. You can ask me what page you stopped at last night, or ask me what you were dreaming about. You were mumbling a bit about your dream after all. It was so bloody cute. Oh. I can tell you everything. Everything about you. And I love all those things. Every little thing about you. Everything with you. Everything we do. I wish I could do them with you forever. They're so much fun. But there's just one problem. You're gonna die of old age long before I do. And we won't have that much time together. And I know to you it might seem like a long time, a human lifespan, but that's over in a blink for me. So believe me, I'm not doing this out of generosity. I'm being selfish. I want more of the high that you give me. So will you at least believe that I'm not trying to trick you? The chalice isn't going to steal your soul or turn you into a frog or anything else. It's not cursed. I promise. So, please, just do as I say and take a hold of it, okay? Thank you. Now just keep doing that. Keep holding it. Good. Now let me just put in these 2 hairs here. Perfect. Just like the tree said. The hairs dissolve and the cup becomes filled with a clear liquid. Now, drink it. After that, it'll all be done and you'll have a lifespan of a few centuries longer. And then the chalice will melt away and vanish. Like I said, it's a shame we can't sell it, but your life matters infinitely more. We can just tell the other 2 we never found it. It was a rumor, a mystery, a myth. But enough of that. Go on. Drink. Chug it all down, every drop. Go on. How did it taste? My tongue felt all sweet just watching you. Does it make you feel anything? Okay. Well, come on, let's head back. No telling when those 2 will wake up. What's the matter? Did you want to ask me something? Oh. You wanted to know whose hair I put into the cup? Well, okay, I suppose I can tell you. You already drank it after all. They were a hair each from the monk and the dwarf. The tree told me all about it in vivid detail. You put up to 2 hairs into the chalice, 1 each from a different long-lived race, like dwarves, and then the chalice just shaves off a century or 2 from the victim's life, and turns it into a liquid that transfers all that time to whoever drinks it, which, fortunately for us both, was you. If we're lucky, those 2 won't even notice what's happened to them. The tree said they don't get older suddenly. I know I said the chalice wasn't cursed, but I don't think this really counts as cursed, to be honest. After all, who cares about those other 2? We barely know them. They're practically strangers. Worthless to us. Not like us 2. We're so close. So close I swear our heartbeats are in sync. I can tell. Yours is beating just as fast as mine. That's the sort of connection we get from spending almost all our time together. Even if you weren't always aware of it. And now that you'll live as long as an elf, we can spend even more time together. I'm drooling just thinking about it. What should we read next? What dream will you mumble about next? I hope it's about me this time. I almost feel guilty feeling this happy right now. Almost. I'm not one to really feel guilty. Especially not over something like this. I didn't do anything wrong. Those other 2 don't matter at all. You're the only one in the world who matters to me. Every god and every religion on the planet are not nearly as holy as you. And I'd burn the entire world and all that it contains if it helped you. So if we're just talking about those 2, gone in a heartbeat. Now, come on, let's get back already. You were mumbling about how you wanted to finish that book, and I know you finished on a cliffhanger.